Alright, so now we're going to start with our multiplication of polynomials.
I don't know how long this is.
Find the product of a monomial and polynomial. Solve equations involving polynomials.
Alright, this is the type of problem you may see. That this may look like a monomial. This is a monomial times a polynomial. And what do you think we should do to find the product? If you said distribute, you're right. So, first of all, remember our product rules. You multiply the coefficients and you add the exponent. So, we're going to find the product right here. We're going to distribute, multiply your coefficients, rewrite your base, add your exponents. Then we're going to distribute that 5 to the 2y. Multiply your coefficients. Negative times positive is a negative, and I have 1x and 1y. Practice problem 2. Still distributive property. I'm going to distribute this to everything inside the parentheses. Multiply my coefficients. And then I have an a and an a to the 4th. That gives me, if I add my exponents, a to the 5th, but I have 1b, and I have to include that b. Then I'm going to take that and I'm going to distribute it to the 1, and anything multiplied by 1, you just get that back. Alright, this one's got a fraction in front, but the same rules still apply. I'm just going to take what's outside and I'm going to distribute it to everything inside the parentheses. Positive times negative is negative. And then this is negative 24 over 3. That gives me negative 8. And I have my x and exponent of 1, so I add my exponents to that base, and I have to include the y because I'm multiplying it by y also. Then I'm going to distribute it here. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. Negative 6 over 3 is negative 2. I have x's, and I add my bases with my x's, which gives me x squared, and then I have y's, and I add my bases with the y's, which gives me y squared. Then finally I take this and I distribute it to the third thing in the parentheses. 2 times 4 is 48, and 48 divided by 3 I think is 18. And then I have 1x, and I rewrite my y's, and I add my exponents. Alright, now we're still finding the product, but it's sort of written in a column method like element multiplication you saw in elementary school. Great. So what you're going to do is you're just basically, it's still distributive property. I'm going to take that 3x and I'm going to multiply it by that 10y. 10. Negative 10 times 3 is negative 30, and I have a y. And then I'm going to take that 3 and I'm going to multiply it by the 6y. 3y times 6y. Multiply my coefficients, rewrite my base, and add my exponents. Alright, here's another one to practice. Same thing. I'm going to multiply here first. Multiply my coefficients, negative 16, rewrite my base m, add my exponents, rewrite my base n, add my exponents, and then I'm going to multiply it by my other term here. Multiply my coefficients, rewrite my base, add my exponents, rewrite my base n, and add my exponents. And there we are. Alright, this time, same thing. I just have 3 terms on top, so I'm going to take this 6rs and I'm going to multiply it by my first term over here. Multiply my coefficients, rewrite my bases, add my exponents, rewrite my s, add my exponents. Then I'm going to distribute it to the negative 3r, multiply my coefficients, rewrite my base, add my exponents, and then I only have one s. Then finally I'm going to distribute over here. Multiply my coefficients, negative times positive, and this is a negative 1. Rewrite my base, add my exponents, rewrite my base s, add my exponents. Alright, do you notice anything different? It's the same type of problem, but alright, so I have 2 like terms here. It's what's going on, and I had to combine them before I can distribute. So 6xy, and I have, let's see, they have an x squared and a y. And then I do my math with my numbers in front. And then I can use my distributive property. Multiply my coefficients, rewrite my bases, add my exponents, rewrite my base y, add my exponents, then I'm going to distribute over here. Multiply my coefficients, rewrite my base x, add my exponents, and I just have one y. Alright, so same thing's going on here. I have two like terms I've got to combine before I can do my distribution. So I'm going to go ahead and put my P4Q here, and I have a P3Q2, and I do my math with the numbers in front. 1 minus 6, negative 5. And then I can distribute. Multiply my coefficients. I have a 1 here. Rewrite my base P, add my exponents. Rewrite my base Q, add my exponents. Then I'm going to distribute it to the second term. Multiply my coefficients. Negative times negative is positive. Rewrite my base P, add my exponents. Rewrite my base Q, add my exponents. Alright, so suppose our problem looks like this. We have x times the quantity x minus 5 plus 6x. So what do you think we should do first? As always, you're going to use your order of operations. So you're going to use the order of operations to get rid of the parentheses. So you're going to distribute your parentheses and you're inside the x inside the parentheses, and then this gives you this. But now what do you think we should do next? Well, we've got two like terms that you have to combine. So I have only that one 4x squared, and I have two terms with x, so they both have an x. Once I rewrite my x, I do the math with the numbers in front. Negative 5 plus 6 is plus 1. Alright, so here's a similar type problem. I'm going to distribute, and this is a negative 1/3 x. So when I distribute that negative 1/3 x, negative 1/3 times 3 is negative 1. X times x is x squared. Then I'm going to distribute that negative 1/3 x to my 12. Negative 1/3 times negative 12 is a positive 4, and I have an x. And then finally I have this plus x squared here tacked on the end. So I have two terms, like terms with the x squared. So I rewrite that x squared, do the math with the numbers in front, negative 1 plus 4, and then I bring down my plain old x. Alright, same thing, it's just I've got to distribute twice now. So 4x times 3x is 12x squared. 4x times negative 5 is negative 20x. Then I've got to distribute my 2 to everything in here. So multiply. 2 times 7 is 14, and I have an x squared. 2 times 2 is 4, and I have an x. And 2 times 8 is negative 16. So now I have to combine my like terms. Here's my x squareds. They both have an x squared, and I do the math with the numbers in front. I just add them. Then I have two terms with an x, so I rewrite my x and do the math with the numbers in front. And then finally I have a plain old 16 to bring down. Alright, I've done a whole bunch of problems for you, so let's see if you can do this one yourself. And this is a 3/4 A here. So distribute that to the first parentheses, distribute the 1/2 to the second, combine your like terms, see what you come up with. So pause the video now and give it a try. Alright, here's what I got. Hopefully we got the same thing. If you didn't, ask me in class and we'll see where we went wrong. Alright, here's a practice problem where we have to distribute and we have to solve an equation. So let's see. Let's distribute. Y times y is y squared. And y times negative 12 is negative 12y. Once again, y times y is y squared. And y times 2y, oops, let's make that squared a little bit better. So it is y squared, and that's a 2y, and we got a plus 25. Alright, now we distribute on the other side. 2y times y is 2y squared. 2y times 5 is 10y, and then we have a minus 15 at the end. Alright, combining our like terms, y squared, 2y squared. And then negative 12y and 2y, negative 10y, and we got a 25. And over here we got 2y squared plus 10y minus 15. Alright, if we get rid of the negative 2y squared here, look what happens. Those cancel out. And we're just left with negative 10y plus 25 equals 10y minus 15. If I put all my y's on one side, I subtract 10y, subtract 10y, that gives me negative 20y. And I subtract 25, and I subtract 25. Did I do that right? That gives me what? Negative 40. And I divide by negative 20, divide by negative 20, so my y is just equal to 2. Alright, so here's an area problem. We've got to find the area of the blue space. And we've got the area of the pink, length and width, and we've got the area of the blue, length and width. So what we're going to do is we're going to find the area of the blue space first, and that is just length times width. So, and all we have to do is distribute 6x squared and distribute. That's 18x. And then we're going to find the area of the pink area, which is length times width. So it's 4x squared. What we're going to do is we're going to take the area of the blue space and we're going to subtract from it the area of the pink space. So all we're doing is subtracting our like terms there. They both have an x squared, and 6 minus 4 is 2. And then I don't have any terms to combine with the 18x, so I just bring it down. And that's the area of the blue space. And that's the end of our multiplication.